Skip, how big of a deal is the blowout loss?
Joy, Shannon, Sharpe, as big a LeBron fan as you are, I thought it was a very big deal because I think the LeBron James friendship with J.R. Smith is about to get tested. We all know LeBron is the leader of this team in this franchise. I think we all know that LeBron is the unofficial head coach of this basketball team. And it is now up to LeBron James to pull J.R. Smith aside, to put him back in his place, and to drive home the point that what happened on the court and after the game last night, unacceptable for a potential championship basketball team. Look, I'm trying to be fair about your Cavaliers here. I did not expect them to go 80-2, but I also did not expect such a lifeless effort on defense last night at Milwaukee with a night of rest between away games. So it wasn't like they were back-to-back on the road. And your Cavaliers did do what they usually do. They had 14 three-point shots. If I told you that before the game at Milwaukee's 7-8, wouldn't you have said, that'll do it? 14 threes? And yet, they allowed the Milwaukee Bucks at home to get off for 118 points while shooting 54% from the field. 118 to 101, and my jaw dropped, especially in the third quarter when they gave up 34 points. Now, during that time, J.R. Smith played 30, I don't give a you-know-what kind of minutes. And J.R., as you well know, and you brought up several times on this show, has been in a slump and in and out of the doghouse. Is that fair to say so far this basketball season? But he did play the 30 minutes, but those 30 minutes included the one play in question that Joy just detailed, in which, for reasons I cannot fathom, all of a sudden, as the ball is about to be put in play, JR goes to the Milwaukee bench to say hi to Jason Terry and to hug Jason Terry. And the ball is inbounded, and Tony Snell, the man he's supposed to be guarding, goes in for an uncontested dunk. And I would think, knowing LeBron the way I know him, I would think he'd be furious about that. Is that fair to say?
Very fair.
I think he'd be furious about their overall effort on defense. So then we got to see on tape, of course, J.R. Smith after the game. He wore the ski mask that he acquired at Ohio State when he accompanied LeBron and a couple other teammates to stand on the sidelines and cheer for the Buckeyes as they held off the Wolverines, double overtime. But he wore the ski mask with the hoodie pulled up and said, "This is my alter ego." And then, as Joy also pointed out, his explanation for the Tony Snell play was, I didn't know I was in the game. You didn't know? Well, you know what? I think that was actually dead honest on his part. I think he forgot he was actually playing for the Cavaliers. And I want to point out that J.R. Smith recently signed a 4-year, $57 million contract and finally got his ring. So does that mean that J.R. Smith has semi-retired for the Cavaliers? Does he think it's pretty much over, that there's no more pressure expectation? He can just do pretty much what he wants? J.R. Smith is a force on this team, on and off the floor, for better and for worse. And if allowed to go unchecked from this moment forward, he will be the undoing of a potential championship team. It is time for LeBron to step in and lay down the law.
The loss is not a big deal because there are going to be some nights the ball just doesn't bounce your way. There are going to be some nights that everything the opposing team puts up is going into the basket. And for whatever reason, it's just not your night that night. So the loss doesn't concern me because we've seen them lose, even last year, lose by wider margins than this, then come back the following night and win by a large margin. But I agree, I'm concerned with J.R. Smith because I saw him Sunday play over 35 minutes and didn't score a point. He's in his worst shooting slump since his rookie season. Now, I don't know what's on his mind. Maybe he took it as a slap in the face that he had to wait so long to get the contract because he said, look, I had one of my best years shooting the ball. I've become a very, very reliable wing defender, and you could count on J.R. Smith, something that you couldn't say in the previous years when he's with Denver or he's with the New York Knicks. So that is concerning. You're the defending champ, and a large part of that reason why you are the defending champ was because of J.R. Smith. If you remember, Skip, in Game 7, it was him right out of the half. Hit 2 quick threes and a 2 to get the Cavs right back in the ball game because that game could have easily gotten out of hand had he not come in with a hot hand in the second half.
And may I quickly interject that it was J.R. Smith who got there first on the chase down block, the greatest
Yes.
block of all time, and he undercut, remember, Iguodala, and made him slow down and flinch a little bit, which allowed LeBron to come in a split second later with the greatest block in the history of blocks, just for the record, but go ahead.
And so now you remember when the Cavs traded for Timofey Mozgov and Iman Shumpert, J.R. Smith was a throw-in. The GM asked LeBron, we're going to get Mozgov, we're going to get Shumpert. What do they want to throw in J.R. Smith? What do you think about that? LeBron said, I got him. I got him.
He did. Because J.R. Smith is a talent.
He's very talented, but he's very erratic. He's very emotional, both on and off the court. So LeBron brings him in. And if you notice, if you look at their Snapchat or Twitter feeds, wherever LeBron has been over the last month, J.R. Smith has been there with him.
Everywhere. I mean, they seem inseparable to
They
me.
were on when they were campaigning, when LeBron was campaigning for Secretary Clinton, J.R. Smith was right there in the background.
He was.
For J.R.'s turkey drive, LeBron was right there.
Yep. And when LeBron was dancing after that pick six on the sideline at the Horseshoe, right? Who was dancing with him? J.R. Smith. Thank you.
The Indians game.
Yep.
He's right there.
He was.
So we know the type of relationship they have. Skip, there's no question in my mind. LeBron James talked to J.R. Smith last night. There's no question in my mind also that moving forward, you will not see a lapse like this again from J.R. Smith. Because a coach talking to you is one thing. The general manager talking to you is something else. But I took it to heart more when my quarterback, John Elway, would say, I need you to make these plays.